This is News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
I have confirmed that the entire Key Bridge has fallen into the harbor.
Good afternoon and welcome to Live at 4.
We begin with scenes like those out of Baltimore that have shocked the country. Recovery is currently underway for 6 missing construction workers after a massive container ship struck and collapsed this bridge. The ship known as the Dolly hit the Francis Scott Key Bridge early this morning, plunging multiple people and cars into the river. The Dolly was able to get a distress signal out, which allowed for most people on the bridge to be rescued. Now federal investigators are on the scene trying to figure out what happened. Meanwhile, President Biden is promising federal aid for the disaster.
I told them we're going to send all the federal resources they need as we respond to this emergency. And I mean all the federal resources.
Currently, investigators believe the crash was an accident, but the investigation is ongoing and could turn up other information.
Well, this has led many people to question the safety of bridges across the country. Here in Wisconsin, the American Road and Transportation Builders Association is sharing the status of our infrastructure. The amount of bridges that are in need of repair in the state is over 1,700. That includes major interstate bridges in Milwaukee and Dane County that carry more than 500,000 people every day.
Well, with 1 week away from the Wisconsin presidential primary, the impact of the race seems small.
Yeah, but one group in Wisconsin is trying to send a message to President Biden, and the movement seems to be gaining some traction. According to a news release, 20 elected officials in the state are endorsing the Wisconsin Uninstructed campaign for the April 2nd Democratic primary. These officials come from Milwaukee, Madison, and the Green Bay area, and all are calling for Democratic voters to vote uninstructed instead of voting for Biden. The vote is being called for because of how they view the Biden administration's handling of the Gaza conflict.
And as all of these developing stories unfold, we're pushing out updates as soon as we learn new information. Whether it's the bridge collapse or presidential elections, you can find updates on the free Channel 3000 News app. You can find it by searching WISC-TV wherever you get your apps.
And now to a live look at Washington, D.C., where the Israeli defense minister is meeting with U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. Now, this meeting comes as Israel is planning a ground invasion into the southern Gazan city of Rafah. Differences in how the two allies see the conflict are sparking tensions that could halt progress towards a mutual solution. The Israeli defense secretary used the meeting to emphasize the ongoing threat to Israel and the hostages who are currently being held by Hamas. But Secretary Austin made it clear that the human cost of war should be at the forefront of planning.
Protecting Palestinian civilians from harm is both a moral necessity and a strategic imperative. In Gaza today, the number of civilian casualties is far too high, and the amount of humanitarian aid is far too low.
Tensions are currently high between the U.S. and Israel over the treatment of Palestinian civilians in Gaza.
Let's get a look at your forecast on this gloomy Tuesday. Still a little rain, a little cloudy. Alex is on the weather patio. Hi, Alex.
Hey there, Susan. Yeah, even a couple snow flurries fluttering about out here. We've got a couple sprinkles, a couple snow flurries. The trees are really moving too. I said last night, tune in at 4. These temperatures are going to be falling, and we may even have a couple of flurries out there. And look at that Doppler track, maybe showing a flurry or two along 151 over towards Mount Horeb. You can probably hear the wind here through my mic. A couple snow showers over southwestern Wisconsin too. Boscoville over to Lone Rock, up towards Rockbridge and Richland Center. Across the rest of the area, 6-hour future track radar, keeping a couple flurries out there this evening, but the windy conditions and the cold temperatures that I said would be funneling into the area, boy, are they doing that right now. 15, 20, 25 degrees colder coming in as this air circulates in from the south and from the west, actually, behind this weather system. As chilly as 39, I said we would be 39 at 4 o'clock last night, and look at that. There we are, verified. Here in Dane County, those temperatures, upper 30s, right around 40. We were in the lower 50s earlier, so the plummeting temperatures, we're going to track that coming up in Maine weather. How cold we get tonight, how much rain we saw, who didn't get to see the rain, and when the next chance of rain is, that's coming up.
The prosecution is resting their case in the trial of Mark Wagner.
That means the defense is taking the stand as they try to prove the DCI agent's innocence. Yesterday, Quadrin Wilson, the man who was allegedly shot by Wagner, took the stand to give his account of events. But today, the defense brought another DCI agent forward who was at the scene to testify. He spoke on the condition of Wagner after the incident occurred. When asked about how Wagner acted after the fact, here's what he said.
He was like shell shook, like he was very, you could tell, upset or like in shock of what happened. He had kind of a blank stare on his face.
The defense is expected to rest their case sometime next week. As the trial continues, the defense is expected to bring more witnesses to the stand, including possibly Wagner himself.
The Department of Education is opening an investigation into alleged discrimination in UW-Madison's scholarship programs. The investigation was started by a complaint filed by the Equal Protection Project, an anti-affirmative action group. It targets one of Madison's BIPOC fellowship programs and argues that it discriminates against white people. In a note sent by the Department of Education Office of Civil Rights, it says the department has not come to a decision and still remains neutral. The university says it will comply with the investigation to the fullest extent.
The Wisconsin Supreme Court siding against Amazon today. The court agreed with a lower court's ruling classifying some delivery drivers as employees. The original decision came down from an appeals court in 2023. It found that drivers in the Amazon Flex program are part of the state employment insurance system. That means they're entitled to unemployment if they're laid off. This case could now be used to claim that many workers in the gig economy as employees instead of contractors.
Supreme Court justices are weighing the access to an abortion pill after a group sued over the ease of restrictions.
We'll hear from both sides of this argument when Live at 4 returns.
Meet Madison Magazine's Chef of the Year. Learn why Jamie Brown Sukasumi earns raves for her next-gen take on Southeast Asian cuisine. And visit a local farm that brings you closer to the food you eat. Madison Magazine online and on newsstands now. Madison Magazine presents The City Guide, your ultimate resource for Madison area adventures. With inside tips on where to eat, what to do, and places to see. Available now on area newsstands or online at madisonmagazine.com.
This month, we're looking for 200 homeowners interested in getting a new fence. We're offering up to $1,000 off, plus an upgrade of up to 10 free solar caps. Our fences outlast wood 3 to 1 and are backed by our extensive lifetime warranty. Call now or visit the website for your new fence today.
Another year of yo-yo dieting? Not this year. Hit reset and make a permanent change with permanent fat removal by Sonobello.
With Sonobello, day one, all my unwanted body fat gone.
These are my favorite pair of jeans that I couldn't even button up.
Look how flat my stomach is. I couldn't believe it was just gone.
I saw the results immediately.
And this is the best I have felt since I was in my 20s.
Real women everywhere are transforming their bodies permanently. Sonobello is not a fad diet or boot camp workout. It's a simple, proven way to remove stubborn body fat permanently and in just one visit.
I'm so happy. I just put this dress on that I haven't worn in over 10 years.
If you are looking for physical results and positive emotional results, please run, don't walk to your nearest Sonobello.
Ready to hit reset? Find out how you can save $250 off instantly. Call now or go to sonobello.com.
Now is the best time to buy new Champion windows, because when you buy 2, you get 2 free.
Hurry, Champion's Buy 2, Get 2 free sale is for a limited time.
That's a great deal. Thanks.
Call 888-4CHAMPION or schedule your free in-home estimate online today.
TDS Fiber Internet makes our home smarter. Working, playing, living, learning. It's all better with TDS Fiber Internet because it's faster, more reliable. It's award-winning internet served up by friendly local folks. It's what keeps us connected. And isn't that what it's all about? Say hello to internet that hits different. Say hello to TDS.
Craving Tex-Mex in the Midwest?
Look no further than Me and Julio restaurant in Fitchburg. From our authentic dishes to our inviting atmosphere, there's something for everyone at Me and Julio. Start with our delicious starters and drinks, then move on to our mouth-watering entrees and mains. Whether it's a casual meal or a special occasion, we're here to make your dining experience memorable. Visit us today at Me and Julio Restaurant. Tex-Mex goes Midwest.
The Supreme Court heard arguments in a new abortion case that could decide if access to the so-called abortion pill should be limited.
A group of doctors opposed to abortion sued after the FDA eased restrictions on the pill mifepristone, making it more readily available. Natalie Brand has more from the Supreme Court.
Hundreds demonstrated outside the U.S. Supreme Court during arguments on access to the abortion drug mifepristone.
We thought it was really important to support women and their right to obtain abortion safely.
The number one premise for me is that chemicals should never be used to take innocent life.
In 2016, the FDA extended the window women can take mifepristone from 7 to 10 weeks. And during the pandemic, it said an in-person doctor's visit was not needed, allowing mail-order pharmacies to ship the drug nationwide. Erin Hawley, who argued on behalf of some doctors opposed to abortion, says the FDA violated the law when it relaxed restrictions.
It's particularly appalling. The FDA based its 2021 decision to remove that in-person visit on studies it acknowledged were, quote, not adequate.
But FDA's ultimate conclusion was that mifepristone could safely be dispensed without in-person visits. It had voluminous evidence, I think, to support that conclusion in 2021, and there's been no contrary evidence that's been introduced.
The government also argued the doctors who brought the suit don't have legal standing because they were unlikely to be harmed by the changes.
Under federal law, no doctors can be forced against their consciences to perform or assist in an abortion, correct?
Yes, we think that federal conscience protections provide broad coverage here.
During arguments, both conservative and liberal justices focused on the issue of standing. Legal analysts say they appear inclined to side with the FDA. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the Supreme Court.
A final decision from the court is expected by early July.
Well, independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced his running mate today, and it is not Aaron Rodgers, as was previously rumored.
Kennedy named Silicon Valley attorney and entrepreneur Nicole Shanahan as his vice presidential running mate at an event in Oakland. Shanahan's selection will accelerate Kennedy's attempts to gain ballot access in as many states as possible. Nearly half of U.S. states require a named vice presidential pick to advance the process to make the ballot.
So proud to introduce to you the next Vice President of the United States, my fellow lawyer, a brilliant scientist, technologist, a fierce warrior mom, Nicole Shanahan.
Shanahan is also one of the largest donors to Kennedy's independent campaign. For the first time in nearly 30 years, part of Donald Trump's business empire has gone public, and it's off to a solid start. The company began its long-delayed journey in the public at today's opening bell. The stock surged about 50% at the opening on the NASDAQ. Experts warn that price tag is not in line with reality. The skyrocketing share price comes even though Trump media is running through cash and piling up losses, and its main product, Truth Social, is losing users. At today's opening price, the stock was worth nearly $6 billion.
The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has granted emergency use authorization for a drug that will help keep high-risk patients from getting COVID-19. Pemgarda is an antibody infusion for immunocompromised people ages 12 and older who aren't likely to have an immune response after vaccination. Pemgarda is not intended to treat people who have COVID. In fact, you cannot take it if you are currently having the virus or were recently exposed to it. The drug is expected to be available in the next week or two. It's not clear yet how much it will cost, but Invivyd, the company that makes it, expects Medicare and private insurance plans to cover it. Well, let's get a look at your first warn forecast. Here's Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington. Hi, Alex.
Hey there, Charlotte. I promised we would be cooling off, and that's part of the 3 things you need to know. Turning colder tonight, a chilly Wednesday, a little milder by the time we get on into your Thursday, and then milder yet as we head towards Friday. Doppler track showing those few flurries out there along 151. I just saw a couple out there on the patio. I said we could see a couple of flurries out there as we move off towards the west. Our friends up on 14, Richland Center up towards Soldiers Grove. A couple of flurries. This is the cold air that's coming in behind our weather system, and as that cold air funnels through, a few more flurries are expected overnight tonight. Now, I said the heaviest rains would line up from Madison and points off towards the east, and boy, oh boy, did that verify here. Look at our rainfall estimates here. Madison, we had a little bit over an inch here at the WISC-TV studios, upwards of 2 inches just to the east. Our friends in Janesville. But our friends in southwestern Wisconsin, I'm so sorry. I know you need these raindrops. Very few fell over portions of southwestern Wisconsin. But good news, optimistic Alex has more rain chances in the forecast. I said our temperatures would be right around 40 degrees at this time for the 4 o'clock show. That verified as well as the colder air sweeps in from the west and moving towards the east, and it will continue to drop overnight tonight. Look at where our temperatures have been, steady near 50. Then that cold front came through and boom, there we go. Down to 39 degrees right here as of 4 o'clock. So plan the rest of your evening, temperatures in the 30s. That flurry chance is a very tiny, tiny chance, but our temperatures will continue to tumble. Waking up here on your Wednesday morning at 23 degrees with a decent breeze out of the north and out of the west. We need the sunshine on your Wednesday to help warm those temperatures. Will it happen here? By noon, let's say Lone Rock to Madison to Janesville, the sun breaking out. Then as we head towards the Live at 4 show, 5 o'clock, if we can sneak the sunshine, we may make the upper 30s to right around 40 degrees here in Madison. If those clouds stick around longer, it'll be a bit chillier on your Wednesday. So turning much colder overnight in our recap, a chilly midweek, warmer by Friday. How warm are we talking? We'll do 50s again, maybe a rain shower later in the afternoon. On your Saturday going into your Sunday, Easter Sunday, a few morning rain showers on your Saturday. And then a wet weather system that could bring a mix as we go Sunday night, Monday into Tuesday. That will bring some chances for rainfall back to the areas. Hopefully southwest Wisconsin, you get those raindrops there because you desperately need those, and then warming up as we head out towards the end of next week. Here's another one of those weather photos, Susan and Charlotte.
Oh, that's a good one.
Isn't that great?
Having a snack?
Yes, the poor robins, you know, they need the worms out there, right? But when they don't have them, they apparently will eat suet, so I'm told, and this one is doing just that. So I appreciate Kathy sending us that photo out there. The good news is at least no more big snows in the future.
That is good news.
But we'll have some water that we all desperately need, and that'll bring those worms out.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Alex. Sure.
All right, in Rock County, the city of Beloit announcing some closures this week. This Friday, the city is changing the operating hours of some public facilities so they can observe a spring holiday. City Hall will only be open for absentee voting from 1 to 5 p.m. All city facilities will be closed on Friday except for the Beloit Public Library. The transit system is operating on a holiday schedule. The specifics can be found on the city's website.
And the city also announcing that public transit will be free for all upcoming elections. That includes next week's primary. In a news release today, the city announced bus fare will be free April 2nd to make transportation to the polls easier for everyone. Now, this only applies to Beloit transit routes. Express routes will still be charged, and the free routes will continue for other election dates as well, including the November 5th presidential election.
Coming up later this evening, you'll want to tune in to see a special half-hour report on Campaign 2024. Wisconsin will be at the center of this year's presidential election. The campaigns will try to connect with Wisconsin voters, you, on issues like abortion or immigration. We spoke with the Democratic State Party Chair, Ben Winkler, and the chair of the Republican Party in Dane County, Brandon Malley.
All those things are core to what the Democratic Party stands for. And it's a common sense approach that I think really there's a difference between that and extremists of any stripe who want to take freedoms away and want to overturn elections. Wisconsin elections come down to 2 or 3 votes per precinct across the state.
I think in 2024, you're gonna see a return of some of those suburban voters that went away from the Republican Party in recent years. on kitchen table issues like the economy and immigration.
Eric Franke and political reporter Will Keneally head up the election special. That's tonight at 6:30, right after News 3 Now at 6. Well, you have an opportunity to do something good for some very special athletes in the area.
And all you have to do is eat. Find out more in the 608 when Live at 4 continues.
Hi, it's Preston with Window World, your locally owned and nationally known window company located right here in Madison. Come see what our Window World family can do for your next remodel.
It's time to let go and move on to something better. At Window World, get a beautiful new patio door professionally installed for just $3,700. Don't wait any longer.
Visit windowworldmadison.com or
call us today. Window World.
This right here is confidence in a bottle.
It makes me feel so much more confident than I've ever felt.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video, and all he uses is a small amount on a clean, dry face. And what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes. And I did this to my father. We were at home, so we applied it to his under eye bags, and let me tell you, we were so excited. In under 10 minutes, they visibly disappeared from view, and now it is literally part of both of our daily routines. And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles.
At our $14.95 price, it's the best way to try Plexiderm and see it work after your first application. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Make every night date night at Johnny's Italian Steakhouse. Choose from a generous selection of signature salads and chef-created pastas, such as the seafood pasta pomodoro, or try one of their delicious signature steaks, like the Johnny's bone-in ribeye. Johnny's has something to satisfy every appetite. Complete date night with a glass of wine or a Johnny's signature cocktail. Have date night any night at Johnny's. Johnny's Italian Steakhouse, Greenway Station, Middleton, and on South Grand Avenue, Sun Prairie.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Take advantage of exceptional financing at your local Cub Cadet dealer today. To find the dealer near you, visit cubcadetdealers.com.
Catch the Bucks on broadcast TV when they square off with the Pelicans on your new local home for select Bucks games. Watch Giannis and the Bucks fly into NOLA to zap Zion and the soaring Pelicans. It's Dame time in the Big Easy. Bucks, Pelicans on your new local home for select Milwaukee Bucks games. Thursday, March 28th at 7 on Television Wisconsin.
Today, March 26th, is Purple Day, a global effort to raise awareness about epilepsy.
About 50 million people around the world suffer from this condition, and it can often go undiagnosed. So for many, that means lives with mysterious chronic medical issues that go unsolved, and that can include vision loss, body spasms, and even deadly seizures. For many doctors, trying to diagnose this disease comes down to being aware of the signs.
The vast majority of seizures are not the classic, what you see on TV, sometimes called grand mal or tonic-clonic convulsions. It's often what brings people to medical attention, but is not typically how people present with seizures.
So today, organizations across the country are trying to raise awareness for epilepsy and its symptoms. In the 608, we're talking about your chance to give back to Special Olympics Wisconsin this week.
Josh Spreiter has more on the local impact and why it involves grabbing some grub.
Special Olympics Wisconsin is once again joining forces with Jersey Mike's Subs in the 608 and beyond. This is for the 14th annual March Month of Giving campaign to support local charities. We want to give you a heads up that tomorrow is Jersey Mike's Day of Giving. Local Jersey Mike's restaurants will give 100% of Wednesday's sales, not just profit, to Special Olympics Wisconsin. Also happening during this month of March, customers have the option to round up their purchase to the nearest dollar and give back that way as well. Right now, you can also donate $1, $3, or $5 when placing your order. I'm told every little donation helps, as all of this goes straight back into the community. Special Olympics Wisconsin says these donations support both their coaches and athletes and really means a lot to them. For more information on Jersey Mike's, you can visit their Month of Giving page. You can also find your closest Jersey Mike's Wisconsin location by going to this story at channel3000.com. In the 608, I'm Josh Breiter, News 3 Now.
Ahead on Live at 4, we speak one-on-one with the White House's infrastructure advisor following the bridge collapse in Baltimore.
Learn what could happen if changes aren't made across the country. We'll be right back.
You don't want to just beautify your home. You want Fry Construction to beautify your home. Their reputation for quick and painless, impeccable work is why they've been awarded Best of Madison 4 years in a row. Right now, buy 5 windows, get the 6th window free. All secured by the Fry 15-year workmanship warranty. Get your home improvement project started today to bring your remodeling dreams to reality. Don't just beautify, beautify. Visit FryConstruction.com.
I'm Jonathan Lawson, here to tell you about life insurance through the Colonial Penn program. If you're age 50 to 85 and looking to buy life insurance on a fixed budget, remember the 3 Ps.
The 3 what?
The 3 Ps.
What are the 3 Ps?
The 3 Ps of life insurance on a fixed budget are price, price, and price. A price you can afford, a price that can't increase, and a price that fits your budget.
I'm 54 and was a smoker, but quit. What's my price?
You can get coverage for $9.95 a month.
I'm 65, retired, and take medications. What's my price?
Also $9.95 a month.
I just turned 80 and I'm on a fixed income. What's my price?
$9.95 a month for you too. If you're age 50 to 85, call now about the #1 most popular whole life insurance plan available through the Colonial Penn program. Options start at $9.95 a month. That's less than 35 cents a day. You cannot be turned down because of your health. No medical exam, no health questions. Your acceptance is guaranteed. And this plan has a guaranteed lifetime rate lock, so your rate can never go up for any reason. Options start at $9.95 a month. Plus, you get a 30-day money-back guarantee. So call now for free information, and you'll also get this free beneficiary planner. Use this valuable guide to record your important information and give helpful direction to your loved ones with your final wishes. And it's yours free, just for calling. So call now for free information.
Call 1-800-914-3131 for your free information and your free gift. That's 1-800-914-3131. There's no risk or obligation. 1-800-914-3131. Call now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
You're watching News 3 Now live at 4. Moving forward.
Welcome back, everyone. Today's weather words are back to below normal. It's another dreary, cloudy day. A little bit of rain, too, and Alex said maybe even a little bit of snow. Nothing that sticks, but it's been a kind of a gray start to the work
really
week.
has. We need some improvement here, Alex. What can you do for us?
I'll do my best out here. Yes, it is gray, it is breezy, it is a bit uncomfortable. We're not used to temperatures as chilly as they have fallen, as I mentioned yesterday, that we would. But coming up in Maine weather, I do have some good news about bringing that sun back. You said, Susan, that there are a few flurries out here. There are out here on the patio with these windy conditions. You can see just a couple of white little blips right about near the WISC-TV studios and also out towards Mount Horeb. A little bit more in the way of snow shower activity over portions of southwestern Wisconsin, north of Richland Center, up by Sparta, just east of Viroqua. Few flurries tonight, not expecting much in the way of any accumulation or really anything to stick here with our 6-hour future track radar. Just enough blue out there to make us remember that winter isn't too far in the distant past out there. It is breezy out here too. I'm sure you can hear this through my microphone. Wind gusts gusting upwards of 30 to 40 miles per hour as this weather system sweeps on through. Our temperatures, I said it would be 39 at 4 o'clock. Right on the money. 39 at 4 o'clock. I mentioned this last night. Lower 30s to the north and west as that cold air really sweeps on in. Dane County 39, 40 degrees. It feels much different than what it did at this point last night. We will do the low to mid 20s overnight tonight with those clouds. When can we expect the sun to come back? I have that answer in a few moments.
At least 6 construction workers are believed to be in the water at the site of a bridge collapse in Baltimore.
Search efforts continue as federal investigators arrive on the scene. Ryan Hughes has the latest.
Search and rescue efforts for missing construction workers are still underway after the stunning collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge in the middle of the night. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg and the NTSB are here at the scene.
And what they're going to look at and begin to collect is information on vessel operations, safety history, safety record.
The whole bridge just fell down. Video shows the moment a massive container ship struck support pillars of the critical overpass. John Zafia is a crane operator at the port and felt the impact from his nearby home.
Just like an aftershock of an earthquake and a loud explosion.
The crew aboard the 974-foot vessel notified state officials the ship had lost propulsion and that hitting the bridge was possible.
There's a ship approaching that just lost their steering.
Maryland's governor says that heads up helped save lives.
We're thankful that between the Mayday and the collapse that we had officials who were able to begin to stop the flow of traffic.
12 million vehicles crossed Baltimore's Key Bridge last year, and the port itself handled a record amount of cargo. It's not closed until further notice. President Biden promised federal aid.
It's my intention that federal government will pay for the entire cost of reconstructing that bridge.
The president said 15,000 jobs depend on that port. That includes Zafia's.
That's going to affect all of our work down there.
Officials say the bridge was fully up to code. Ryan Hughes, CBS News, Baltimore County, Maryland.
A facility has been set up with mental health professionals for family members to help deal with this tragedy.
The bridge collapse in Baltimore may have you thinking, what is the state of the bridges in our area?
Our Jalen Banks looked into that today and joins us now with more on the condition of some of Wisconsin's bridges. Jalen?
The American Road and Builders Association says Wisconsin has over 1,700 bridges that need repairs. 943 of those are classified as structurally deficient. One of those bridges is right here in Wisconsin, John Nolan, which sees over 40,000 or more crossings a day.
The thing is, overall nationwide, we have a dire need for infrastructure renewal. And the matter is that it takes a lot of investment and it has to prioritize based on risk assessment.
Set to receive over $200 million put towards the bridges that need repairs. Tonight at 6, we'll hear more from Dr. Tabatabai on what makes for a structurally sound bridge.
The prosecution is resting their case in the trial of Mark Wagner.
That means the defense is taking the stand as they try to prove the DCI agent's innocence. Yesterday, Quadrin Wilson, the man who was allegedly shot by Wagner, took the stand to give his account of events. But today, the defense brought another DCI agent who was at the scene forward to testify. He spoke on the condition of Wagner after the incident occurred. When asked about how Wagner acted after the fact, he said this.
He was like shell shook, like he was very, you could tell, upset or like in shock of what happened. He had kind of a blank stare on his face.
Wagner did testify today. The defense is expected to rest its case sometime next week.
The stock market bounced back today. The market forces pushing this rise are on the hopes that possible Federal Reserve cuts will keep profits high. The Dow Jones rose 88 points, with the Nasdaq following with a 45-point rise. The S&P 500 also turning the curve and going up 11 points.
Well, here's a question. Can a soda really be healthy?
You've seen the promises to ease stress, boost immunity and energy, but do they? And do they taste good? Consumer Reports examines what are called functional beverages when we come back.
Are record high energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today.
Certain this is gonna work?
Nothing to it.
For Imprint certain?
Certainty matters. 4imprint is your home for promo gear to wow clients and inspire your team. Check out 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Hanson's knows that your home is a place of comfort and protection. That's why our durable, energy-efficient, and weather-resistant windows, roofing, siding, and gutters, as well as our bathtubs and showers, are guaranteed. With over 30 years experience and thousands of 5-star reviews, we're your trusted home improvement expert. Get 60% off installation or enjoy no interest and no payments for 2 years.
Call 1-800-HANSONS. Get it done.
This is me, and this was my stubborn body fat. My name's Adrian, and Sonobello changed my life.
Sonobello is America's #1 cosmetic surgery specialist, and they permanently removed my body fat in just one visit.
After having 2 kids, my body, it changed a lot. I tried everything to lose the fat, but nothing seemed to work.
Sonobello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently on your stomach, back, chin, and more.
I've seen such dramatic results. My tummy is gone, my double chin is gone, and my hourglass shape is back. This was the mommy makeover that I deserved.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-888-357-3263 or go to sonobello.com.
Salonpas Lidocaine Flex, a super thin, flexible patch with maximum OTC strength lidocaine that contours to the body to relieve pain right where it hurts. And did we mention it really, really sticks? Salonpas, it's good medicine.
New at 5, the city of Beloit has a unique way of encouraging voters to use their voices. We show you how this election will be more accessible.
Temperatures will turn much colder overnight, lasting into your Wednesday, nearly 10 degrees below normal for this time of year. At 5, I'll let you know when you can expect the mercury to rise again.
And ahead at 6, reaction to the Baltimore bridge collapse. Tonight, we speak one-on-one with the White House's infrastructure advisor. What could happen if changes aren't made? That's tonight at 6. Here's a question for you. Can soda or pop ever be good for you?
What do you say, soda or pop?
I say soda.
Okay, I say pop. You might notice claims on some cans and bottles that say the soft drink has wellness benefits, things like easing stress, boosting immunity, and lifting energy.
But is that really true? The experts at Consumer Reports tested more than a dozen brands to sort through the hype and taste. Here's Shane Hogan.
Functional beverages, as the drink industry likes to refer to them, often contain ingredients that were once found only in supplements or herbal teas.
It was important that it tasted good. Why not? What do I have to lose? If it works, then great.
Probiotics and prebiotics are added to a slew of cold drinks. Consumer Reports testers said Culture Pop Probiotic Soda Wild Berries and Lime had a well-balanced sweet and tart combo. Plus, it has no sugar substitutes.
Drinks with added probiotics may not have the same health benefits as foods like yogurt or kimchi. Think of them as a shot of supplement in a drink form. They don't have the variety of bacteria or other helpful compounds that fermented foods do.
What about those healthy-sounding green juices? Well, they're an easy way to get some vitamins and minerals in your diet, but they shouldn't replace your veggies. Opt for those that have vegetables high on their ingredients list. Suja Organic Cold-Pressed Mighty Dozen with very little fruit juice has 80 calories in 12 ounces. Compare that with 270 calories in 15.2 ounces of Naked Juice Green Machine, which has fruit juice as the first ingredient. Drinks marketed as stress relievers such as recess-infused sparkling water, mood raspberry lemon, and droplet sparkling self-care beverage, Pretty Balanced, could make a flavorful alcohol-free alternative to a glass of wine or a cocktail, but it's not clear if their calming effects are really significant. Energy drinks have been around for decades, but newcomers such as Aspire, Celsius, and Clean contain natural sources of caffeine. But there's no chemical difference. And no matter the drink, check for added sugars, sodium, and other ingredients.
Cheers.
In Madison, Shane Hogan, News 3 Now.
Cheers, and doctors say most people get enough electrolytes from food, with an exception if you're exercising for longer than an hour, especially if you sweat a lot, if it's a hot, humid day.
And you might also want to sip an electrolyte drink if you have diarrhea or if you vomited, which can completely deplete your electrolytes. Well, coming up after the break, Dr. Zorba Pastor is taking a house call.
He's here to dispel some common myths about nutrition. We've got a couple of questions for Zorba. Some of the most popular things that you might think are true, are they? We'll find out when we come back.
Focusing on your finances this year? Well, with Midwest Financial Group, it's as easy as walking through the door and having a cup of coffee. Matt, today we're talking about what an initial meeting would look like with a prospective client coming to your team and trying to figure out a working relationship. So from your perspective, what does that look like?
Usually a lot of questions. Prospective clients have questions about us. We want to learn a lot about them. Ultimately, I think most people want the same thing, and that's a plan. So the first meeting, we're going to ask a lot of questions. We're going to see what's important to them. We're going to take that information, spend some time working on it, and then meet a second time to deliver the results of that. And at that point, if we can help, we'd love to. But if not, you walk out the door with answers that you can take and use on your own, even if you want.
Right. So it sounds like pretty zero pressure. And one thing they can be certain of is whoever they meet with, your team, they're all fiduciaries. So you will put the client's needs before your own.
Yeah, I would like to think that our industry should do that anyway, ethically, morally, but we are all certified financial fiduciaries, so legally we're also held to that standard.
And then when you talk about involvement, if a client wants to come in and maybe somewhat do it themselves, or just say, here you go, I want the most bang for my buck, you take it, you can do both ways.
Yeah, we have the ability to charge like an hourly fee for people who maybe just want to take a little bit of our time and get our blessing on whatever it is they're doing.
Right.
And some people don't want to manage it themselves. So they say, you know what, take this, and I kind of want to let you drive the ship, and I trust you, and go forward with that. So we can structure that relationship when they're ready, any way they want.
Come have a cup of coffee and get a second opinion with Midwest Financial Group. From Barriques, I'm Emmy Fink.
I'm Matt Coupland, and you're buzzed into Madison.
That's right.
Backyard living season is here. Coolview has great solutions to beat the backyard blues and save 15 to 25%. Cover your deck with a screen porch, an enclosed porch, or sunroom. If you have a screen porch, let us turn it into an enclosed porch. Shade your patio with a pergola or awning. All on sale now. Let Coolview show you how to tame your backyard blues. Call now for a quote before the sun sets on savings.
Get a new view from Coolview.
Catch the Bucks on broadcast TV when they square off with the Pelicans on your new local home for select Bucks games. Watch Giannis and the Bucks fly into NOLA to zap Zion and the soaring Pelicans. It's Dame time in the Big Easy. Bucks, Pelicans on your new local home for select Milwaukee Bucks games. Thursday, March 28th at 7 on Television Wisconsin.
We're giving the weather satellite a spin this afternoon. We need a little sunshine, so here it is for you. A live picture of the Santa Monica Pier in California. 61 degrees.
A lot of people enjoying that.
Yeah.
Well, soy milk can raise the risk of breast cancer. Vegans and vegetarians are deficient in protein.
You've heard that before? There are a lot of false ideas and myths out there about nutrition that seem to linger in our heads.
And to set the record straight, a group of nutritionists from around the country tried to answer the top nutrition questions, and Dr. Zorba Pastor is here to separate the facts from fiction. Welcome back.
Good to be here.
All right, so we're going to start off with myth number 1. Fresh fruits and veggies are always healthier than frozen or canned.
And that is not the case. You know, if you have fresh fruits and veggies, they look kind of wilted and they've been there too long. They're not necessarily better than frozen or canned. Now, frozen is really good because they're frozen usually at the top of really their healthfulness. They've got lots of vitamins and minerals. If they're canned, they lose some vitamins during the canning process. But the thing about it is frozen and fresh are less expensive. You know, they're less expensive than fresh. So fresh
and they
is
don't
not
go
always
bad.
best. They don't go bad. Frozen is really good. Keep frozen veggies, frozen foods.
All right, very good. The second myth is all fat is bad.
Of course, that's absolutely wrong. Now, we started that in the 60s thinking all fat is bad, but there is good fat. Olive oil, canola oil, nut oils, those are good for you. And for fish, oily fish like salmon is really good. So there's good oil and bad oil, and we sort of threw out the baby with the bathwater. Remember snack wells?
Oh,
snack
yeah.
wells. Those awful cookies that had no fat in them but had a lot of sugar. So we're eating too many carbohydrates. We should eat good fats.
Better to have an avocado instead.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's such a good fat. It also helps you sleep at night, I've learned. Okay, so people with type 2 diabetes should not eat fruit.
Absolutely, they should eat fruit. Fruit is very healthy for them. They should not have fruit juices because fruit juices are loaded with sugar. They do not have the fiber of fruit. So the answer is diabetics should have whole fruits. An apple, have the whole apple, and they should have whole fruits.
What about like bananas? Things
Bananas
that
are great too. The whole thing, but an apple is really good. Bananas are good. Fruit juice, forget it. Don't have fruit juice if you're diabetic.
Don't have the juice. Okay, now this is always a very controversial question here in Wisconsin. Plant milk, the myth is that plant milk is healthier than dairy milk.
And it's not. And it shouldn't be called milk. It should be called white substance. It should not be called milk. So first of all, milk, what we call milk, has usually about 8 grams of protein in it. Plant milk has only 2 grams. So it's a low protein drink. It's also filled with, you know, if you look at oat milk and you look at almond milk, it's filled with sugar and it's texturized and it's basically an ultra processed product. Milk is natural. Almond milk, all those other milks, ultra processed, stay away from them.
Okay, eating soy-based foods can increase the risk of breast cancer.
Wrong.
Really?
It does not. There is no scientific basis for that. I have no idea where that started. Probably the anti-soy lobby came in, or maybe it's people who hated tofu. And they wanted to make sure people
Well, there are
estrogens,
plant estrogens, right?
There are plant estrogens, but there is no evidence it actually causes breast cancer or uterine cancer in women. So the thought was maybe that does something. The answer is no. There's no scientific evidence.
And a lot of people have thought maybe if you eat some soy-based products, it helps take away the effects of menopause.
Well, and it's possible, and soy may be good for you. It's a plant product. It's very, very healthy for you, and soy is often oil, and that's a good oil. So the answer is yeah.
Okay.
Okay, our last one is you should never feed peanut products to your children within their first few years of life.
Well, it turned out that was a complete mistake. That they discovered there was a study done years ago that showed that in Israel, of all places, kids were fed early peanut products. You can buy them at stores like Trader Joe's. They look like Cheetos. They're not Cheetos. They're made of peanuts. And if you fed them to kids early, they ended up developing a tolerance to peanuts, and there was a lowering actually in peanut allergies. So the answer is young children should be fed peanuts, not the peanut whole, because they can't do that.
Right.
But peanut butter and any kind of peanut smacks early on when they start eating foods that will reduce the risk that they will actually get a peanut allergy. Feeding it early is good for them.
That's going to be hard, I think, to convince some parents.
Yes.
Because peanut allergies can be very serious.
Right, but it turns out that is the way. That's the whole thing behind myth. It's hard to get myths to actually die, and we do that with information that we talk about on the show.
And again, scientifically based.
Yes, right, that's right, scientifically based. You got it.
All right, Dr. Zorba Pastor, thank you again.
Good to be here.
Good to see you. We'll be, I always do this. I always toss it to break. Alex is like, don't forget about me. Alex, over to you.
Sounds good, and I am hungry after that conversation. Turning colder tonight. It's going to stay chilly on your Wednesday. I promised this yesterday that our temperatures would cool on down, but I got a milder Thursday in the forecast and an even milder Friday in the 10-day. Got a couple snow flurries out there fluttering about Cross Plains, Wanakee, Sun Prairie, let's say Old Middleton. Here at the studios, we actually had a couple out there as well. Moving off to the northwest, our friends out towards Richland Center, Ithaca over towards Boaz on 14. A couple of flurries out there. Again, these are just fleeting flurries. They're not going to do much in the way of sticking across the area. This is just precipitation turning over to a little bit of light snow on the backside as our weather system ends. Colder temperatures, I promised this at the Live at 4 show yesterday. And here we are, 39 in Madison, 35 in Lone Rock. Down to 30 already in Viroqua, and it's that colder air that's going to be streaming in from the north and from the west. Here in Madison, again, we got 39. Southwest winds sustained at 10. When I say sustained, that means the gusts are higher. We've had wind gusts of 35, 40 miles per hour, and I can attest to that being out on the patio. Rest your evening, breezy, temperatures falling through the 30s. A flurry or two not out of the realm of possibility. But then as we wake up on your Wednesday morning, 23 in Madison, let's track the sunshine. We were saying earlier we would do that. I think the sun will start coming out over portions of southwestern Wisconsin by lunchtime. Few clouds here hanging on in Madison. Fingers crossed, though, that we get that sun to come out so that we can crack 40 degrees if we're lucky by the time we get to about this time on your Wednesday afternoon. A little bit cooler to the north where those clouds hang on, temperatures staying on into the 30s out there. Our rain vision product last night, I said I-90, I-39 east, best chances for rain. That's what verified, 1 to 2 inches. We had an inch here at the studio and upwards of 2 inches, our friends towards Janesville and out towards Jefferson. And in southwest Wisconsin, I said the amounts would be less, and it looks like that has verified out there. But we do have more rainfall chances in the forecast. Our washout widespread rain has ended. But as we head towards Friday going into Saturday, some scattered showers, and it looks unsettled as we head out further into the 7 to 10 day forecast. Warmer, I promise, by Friday going into your Saturday. So head towards Easter Sunday, seasonably cool, and then turning unsettled Monday and Tuesday. But we'll need those raindrops to help continue to alleviate the drought. We'll be back in a couple moments.
Save big money with these hot deals in Menards. All prices after 11% rebate. Colored wood mulch is $197. Get this folding sawhorse for only $9.99. Hop to big Easter savings. Easter lilies are just $5.99 each. Load up those Easter baskets with chalk or Bubbles solution, just 49 cents each. These hot deals won't last long. Hurry in before time runs out. Sign up for Menards emails to get more hot deals, plus the weekly flyer right to your inbox.
Save big money at Menards.
Interested in an electric vehicle? Bergstrom has the largest selection of electric vehicles and a team you can trust. Buy with confidence and complete peace of mind from Wisconsin's #1 automotive retailer. Bergstrom Automotive, driven to deliver gas, hybrid, or electric.
Welcome to the Del Bar, a Wisconsin Dells supper club with a rich history spanning 81 years and 3 generations. We're known for our award-winning cuisine made with locally sourced ingredients. Experience our handcrafted cocktails and indulge in a one-of-a-kind dining experience. Our inviting restaurant is perfect for sharing love and laughter with friends and family. We're open daily at 4:30 p.m. Visit us today. The Del Bar, prime-grade steaks and fresh seafood.
Did you know that 53% of your home's heat is lost through the walls and attic? That's why your house is so cold every winter. USA Premium Foam Insulation in your walls keeps the cold air out and your warm air in. Our foam is up to 35% more efficient than traditional insulation, and it gets into places other insulations can't. We've made over 100,000 homes more comfortable. Stop freezing and start saving with USA Insulation.
USA Insulation.
New at 5, the city of Beloit has a unique way of encouraging voters to use their voices. We show you how this election will be more accessible. Then we have continuing coverage of the Mark Wagner trial with the latest round of testimony. That's next at 5.
News 3 Now brings you a preview of Wisconsin spring elections, what you need to know before heading to the polls on April 2nd.
Plus analysis from both sides on the key issues today and moving forward to November.
Campaign 2024, Battleground Wisconsin, tonight at 6:30.
Well, take a look at this. A close call caught on a highway cam. Authorities in Utah using this dash cam video of a shocking near miss to warn drivers of the dangers of highway crash scenes. The Utah Highway Patrol shared the video showing a semi barreling past several people on the side of the road. The Highway Patrol used the scary moment as a reminder to anyone stopped on the highway to be extra vigilant and whenever possible move stopped vehicles off the roadway.
Well, your credit cards are going to get cheaper to use. This is because Visa and MasterCard have agreed to settle a decades-long antitrust case filed by merchants. The case alleged that the credit cards charged too much for the services provided, and that cost went on to the consumer. So with the settlement, those swipe charges are going to go down if the court approves the settlement.
Very soon, a beloved donut brand will meet the world's biggest fast food chain. Krispy Kreme will provide donuts daily at McDonald's restaurants nationwide. The rollout will come in phases starting this year. The plans are to have the full rollout completed by the end of 2026.
And we'll be right back after this.